So he went to Nike's headquarters. Yes, it's important to teach students about careers, but it's also important to teach students about industry. Schools have 3D printers. Not all, but some. Students are aware a little bit about what 3D printing is, but do they understand 3D printing is going to revolutionize manufacturing in the same facet the video camera revolutionized journalism? Do they actually understand there's an industry behind this? How do you bring that message home? We went to Nike's headquarters, and what you're looking at is one of the first ever 3D printed shoes. Nike has figured out a way where in about 5 more years, you no longer will have to go to a department store to buy a brand new pair of shoes. You will be able to 3D print a brand new pair of Nikes at home on a 3D printer and walk out of your house with them on your feet. This is where STEM is going. These are the stories as an educator you can bring into the classroom to make it real and practical. Here's another one we did. Since Super Bowl is coming up, this is what we did with EA Sports. Students love playing video games. They love to play video games. How many of them actually know how to write code? Real challenge we have in this country. So what we did was we focused on, yes, the making of the video game, what goes into it. How do you take a physical person from the real world, put them into the game, and mimic certain movements and so forth. And here's an example of a student that just built their very own video game through the curriculum, and now is getting ready to test it out with his buddy. And this is what STEM should be. This is how you leverage technology. This is a free software.
All right, race them.
You ready? No.
That's a virtual world you built.
Oh God. Dude, I can't race him. Dude, it's all. I tell Joe that. I can't see my guy.
See, this is what learning should be. But as an educator, you don't have the time to scour the internet and put together all the resources. Then you got to add on what's the essential questions, all right? Then you got to add on all the different things tied to standards and so forth. It's tough. But these resources exist out there for you all. Let's go on the next slide. This is one we did with the Bionic Chef. One day this guy was out hunting for food in Montana, saw a dead bear lying on the ground. Didn't realize what killed the bear was a down power line. Took out his knife, went to touch the bear. As soon as he touched the bear, 2,400 volts of electricity went through his body. Immediately burned off 4 of his ribs, lost his right arm. The very same thing that almost killed him kept him alive. The electricity was so hot, it sealed his skin back together. After being passed out for a few hours, he was able to get up and walk for 3 miles to get help without bleeding to death. Airlifted to a hospital, thought his career was over with. Someone heard his story and fitted him with a bionic hand as well as a bionic forearm. Now when he's in the kitchen, he's able to cook. And whatever he thinks between his brain and the remaining sensory nerves left in his arm, he's able to perform cooking functions of any kind in the kitchen and continue his career as a chef. This is focused on biomedical engineering. This is one we did in Israel. Teachers wanted me to highlight the digestive system. So I swallowed a pill camera and gave students a virtual tour of my digestive system. Okay? This is what inside my intestines looks like. This was our top video for 2015. Actually, the second highest video. You're about to see the highest ranked video. So, well, that's a normal looking intestine. What does it look like when you eat a lot of junk food? Well, we got that one for you too. Notice a significant difference. Stuff like this that brings STEM to life for children. Some of you guys looking like, oh, I drank last night. I can't believe This is one we did focused on regenerative medicine. This gentleman, his name is Dr. Atala. He's figured out how to 3D print and grow a kidney as well as a liver after studying salamanders. Get them to a 10% functioning capacity. Why 10%? Because after 10%, the human body can do the rest and restore the organ to full capacity. And he's saving the lives of children doing that. This is one we did in Palau. How do you get kids excited about DNA? I see some of you guys shaking your head like, please tell me how. This expedition, we focused on sea snakes. This creature bites you. Within 45 minutes, you will not have the strength to breathe on your own. As deadly as this creature is, it's a huge lifesaver, and let me explain how. What you're looking at is a sea snake that's eating an eel that's twice its size. Scientists have been able to figure out there's a genetic arms race between the sea snake as well as the eel. At this moment, is the eel dead? No, it's paralyzed. The venom from the sea snake has disconnected the signal from the eel's brain to its nervous system. It was at this point when we were filming this, I started to swim back a little bit, and like, brother gotta go, because I'm not standing around and mess with this guy. Little did I know, it looks like he's aggravated with us, but little did I know, all he was simply doing was burping. Because he spends half his time on land and in the ocean. Let me tell you what's special about this creature. It's a new wave of medicine. This is my buddy Zoltan, and what we're doing is taking blood from the heart of the snake without killing it. What scientists have figured out, between altering the venom as well as the DNA, you can fight against heart attacks and heart disease. And this works. We were able to share with students patients Zoltan worked on, and you see the before and after pictures of the artery. This one we did in Jellyfish Lake. Do not ever attempt to swim with jellyfish. One of my favorite pictures. I don't have enough time to go through all the science behind it. Here's another one. Does anyone see a snake in this picture? This one was done in the Amazon a few months ago. Trust me, you're not going to see it. In this picture is one of the most deadliest creatures who live on the floor of the Amazon, known as a lancehead viper snake. It's called the bushmaster. Snake bites you, within about 10 steps you will collapse. You cannot see it, but it's in the middle of the picture. Here's a close-up of it. And this is what was waiting for us. 7 feet long. I've never seen a snake that looks like it does push-ups every single morning before it goes out. But once again, this is what makes STEM real for students. On the next one. I look brave in that shot, but that was actually the smallest tarantula I could find on the floor of the jungle. This is one we did focused on molecular science. Do you know right now there's a device that was invented where when you go to the grocery store, you will carry around something that looks like a USB, and you can scan any food, any plant, any medicine, and it will tell you the exact DNA and makeup of it. How sweet or sour it is, how many more useful days does it have. This is where technology is going.